The Bermuda Triangle had always been a mystery, but no one imagined the truth was far darker than any myth. For decades, ships, planes, and entire crews vanished into thin air within the infamous stretch between Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. Some claimed electromagnetic anomalies, others spoke of wormholes, but no one guessed what truly lay beneath the waves until the Marlin disappeared. Captain Eric Voss was a seasoned seafarer, skeptical of legends and ghost stories. When hired to transport scientific equipment through the Triangle, he scoffed at his crew's unease. "Sea's just sea," he muttered. "Water's water. The only monsters out here are in your heads." But as the Marlin entered the heart of the Triangle, all instruments went dead. Compasses spun in wild circles, radios screamed with static, then silence. The sky, once clear, turned a bruised purple as if twilight had bled through too early. A dense fog rolled over the deck, muffling sound. Even the waves quieted. Then came the humming. Not mechanical, not electrical. It was organic. A low, bone-deep drone, like the growl of something ancient. The crew huddled on deck, eyes wide. "I don't like this," whispered the navigator Miguel. "Something's watching us." And something was. Without warning, the ocean erupted. Black tendrils, slick, segmented and pulsing with sickly blue veins, shot out of the water, coiling around the ship. Crew members screamed as they were snatched into the mist, their cries cut off in an instant. Captain Voss drew his pistol and fired into the fog, but the bullets did nothing. He was the last to be taken. He awoke not in the ocean, not on a beach, but in a different world. A sky of swirling ink stretched above, filled with stars that blinked like eyes. Towering structures made of bone and coral twisted into impossible shapes. And there, in the distance, loomed an obsidian pyramid covered in runes that moved when stared at. It was not Earth. It was something older, forgotten, otherworldly. A whisper slithered through the air. "You've crossed over." Eric turned to see Miguel, or what remained of him. His eyes were white, pupils long gone, and his skin was pale, almost translucent. Veins glowed faintly beneath the surface. He smiled, but his lips cracked like old parchment. "We're in Thalzir now, the city beneath." "Where the hell are we?" Eric rasped. "Not hell, a feeding ground." Then the creatures came. They moved on all fours, their limbs long and thin, with spines that jutted from their backs like razors, faces without eyes, only mouths, rows of teeth spiraling inward. And they spoke inside his head. "We hunger." Eric ran. The city was a maze of nightmares, bridges made of stitched flesh, alleys that led nowhere, pools of dark liquid where whispers bubbled from beneath. The sky above cracked with lightning that flashed in colors he couldn't name. He found others, survivors from old disappearances, a woman in a tattered flight suit from the 1950s, a teenage boy clutching a journal in Spanish, a group of sailors huddled in a bone-made church, praying to gods that no longer listened. "They take us for sport," one of them whispered. "Some they eat, others they keep for their games." At night, the creatures hunted, the ones they didn't kill. They altered. Eric watched one man scream as his skin melted, reshaping into something monstrous. His screams became laughter. He joined them. Soon, Eric stopped sleeping. Days, or what passed for days, blurred together. Time didn't work right in Thalzir. Sometimes the stars reversed, sometimes the city shifted, and Eric would find himself in a different section, surrounded by towering statues that wept black ichor. One night, he found a survivor who called herself Rena. She claimed to have escaped their prison once before. "There's a door," she whispered. "In the pyramid. It's not a way out, but a way through." To where? To somewhere else. Maybe worse, but maybe better than this. Together, they made their way to the pyramid. Inside was worse than Eric imagined. The walls breathed. Strange symbols lit up as they passed. Shadows whispered secrets in ancient tongues. At the pyramid's center was a throne, and on it, the largest creature of them all. It had no legs, only a coiled slug-like body covered in a forest of moving eyes. Its arms were long and skeletal, tipped with claws that shimmered like obsidian. Its face was a vertical maw lined with human teeth, and it knew Eric. "You," it said, "you have seen death and defied it. You will serve us well." He didn't wait. He and Rena ran past it as it began to rise, its body unfolding like a massive flower of nightmares. They found the door, a stone arch pulsing with purple energy, but only one could go through. Rena shoved Eric. "Go! I've been here too long. It only takes the newly broken." He tried to resist, but the energy pulled him in. Eric awoke on a beach in the Bahamas, clutching a broken piece of coral carved with symbols from the pyramid. He was alone, or so he thought. His skin had changed, marked with dark runes that pulsed in moonlight. Sometimes he heard the humming again, faintly in the back of his skull. He knew Thalzir was real, and it was hungry. He told his story. No one believed him. They said he was the sole survivor of the Marlin's disappearance. But as more ships vanished, as more fogs rolled in without warning, and as some survivors returned whispering about the city beneath, the world began to listen. And one night, in his sleep, Eric smiled a wide, too wide smile. The creatures weren't just feeding anymore. They were sending scouts. In the control room of a naval base in Florida, 2 radar operators stared at a blip that had appeared in the middle of the Bermuda Triangle. "No vessels reported in that area," said one. The blip multiplied. Dozens, then hundreds. An audio transmission burst through the silence, ancient whispers and guttural clicks. Then, in perfect English, "You open the door. Now it swings both ways." The radar screens turned black. From beneath the waves, something massive stirred.